Are you tired of constant violence in Terraria? Well, introducing the Terraria Pacifist Mod. Just like the Pacifist Route in Undertale, this mod lets you pacify and tame bosses in Terraria. A rule of thumb to have is hitting the bosses will make them impossible to pacify. To pacify King Slime, we don't hit him at all. After 15 seconds, he'll start spawning projectiles and get smaller over time. He'll eventually give up on trying and become pacified. To pacify the Eye of Cthulhu, we just dip him in water 5 times. This might be a metaphor for using eye drops on our dry eye. We can use the Leash of the Eye item to ride the Eye of Cthulhu as a mount. To pacify Eater of Worlds, we have to craft worm morsels. We throw the morsels onto the worm segment to feed the Eater of Worlds. Feeding the head makes the morsels twice as effective. Feeding 30 morsels is enough to satisfy it. Upon summoning the Brain of Cthulhu with this mod, it will now spawn tons of fleshy spikes along all walls that deal a lot of damage. Creepers will grab these spikes, and if the brain touches them, it slowly gets put to sleep, pacifying it. To pacify Deerclops, we just have to put either haze or mannequins in her way. As she loves to break things, mannequins are much more effective. To pacify Queen Bee, we need to check the specific required items hinted on the naturally spawned larva, then place them in a house near the larva. Break the larva and the queen will check if the house is good or not. If it's good, she'll be pacified. To pacify Skeletron, it will spawn various lanterns near his spawn location. We have to light up these lanterns in order. Lighting up all the lanterns will lift his curse. To pacify Wall of Flesh, we need to talk to the guide at any point after beating the evil boss. He'll give us a guide's locket, an item that we can use to summon a more difficult version of the Wall of Flesh, which spawns additional lich enemies. Transparent varieties of these enemies will be differently colored and should be touched in order to return them to the wall and pacify it slowly. Congrats, the guide is now comfortable enough to expose his emotionally vulnerable state to you. Now it's time for Hardmode. To pacify Queen Slime, we just have to survive the battle for 2 minutes. Pretty straightforward. To pacify the mech bosses, there is a couple of steps. First, craft at least 12 cobalt or palladium orbs. We throw these orbs at the mech bosses to shock them, making them gain some random amount of speed and damage. Repeat this step 12 or more times and the mech bosses will eventually short circuit and be pacified. To pacify Plantera, we wait for her to spit out a small flower bulb. We want to touch these flower bulbs to calm Plantera down. After touching around 10 bulbs, she'll be pacified. To pacify Golem, we need to find a lizard power brick in one random lizard chest found in the temple. Throw this brick onto Golem. After hitting it 5 times, he will detach his head from his body. Hit it 5 more times to power the head down, then activate the head with the lizard power cell. We also want to hit Golem's body 20 times with the brick to completely pacify Golem. To pacify Fishron, we need to use a bug net. We wait for Fishron to spawn his Sharknadoes. The Sharknadoes will occasionally have truffle leeches spinning around them. These leeches will latch onto us, inflicting both bleeding and poison as they are sucking our blood. We can catch these leeches, 20 of them is enough to craft the true truffle treat. Throw this out while fighting Fishron and he'll immediately aim for it. Once Fishron eats it, he will be pacified. To pacify Empress of Light, first we have to craft a prism lens. This lens can be used to siphon her light slowly, depleting her strength. We do become slower when holding the lens, making it harder to dodge attacks. After harnessing enough of Empress Light, she will become a tsundere. To pacify Lunatic Cultists, we need to wait for them to spawn a summoning circle. Then we move to the center of the circle to interrupt their ritual. This will enrage them, making the fight much harder, but after a while, the cultists will calm down and become pacified. Unfortunately, this mod hasn't added a way to pacify Moonlord yet, but I am sure they will add it in the near future update. Do note that all the pacified bosses will become town NPCs and move to your empty houses. You can also pacify normal enemies in this mod. Here are some of them. To pacify a Pinky, we give it a lesser or normal healing potion or any food item. To pacify a Nymph, we just throw purification powder on her. To pacify Tim, we just have to touch the 3 runes he summons, disrupting his ritual and pacifying him. To pacify a skeleton miner, we just give them a gold or platinum bar. To pacify most mimics, we have to place a chest mimic next to them, open and close the chest mimic repeatedly, and do not alert them by moving too quickly. To pacify a rainbow slime, we need to stand close to the slime for some time, and the slime will begin a short dance. We need to follow the movement of its dance, otherwise it'll get angry. Once we dance long enough, it'll be pacified. And that is all what the Terraria Pacifist Route mod has to offer. Subscribe for more Terraria.